Well, actually not. It's 1918. And 100 years ago today, people will be living in trenches like we are doing today. And over the next couple of days, we're going to be living the life as it might have been 100 years ago. With all the mud, with all the rats, with the food, everything, even in the cold. So join us and stay with us as we live the life 100 years ago.
So as we enter the support trench, I can't imagine how it would have actually been as we make our way through the covered section of the trench. They're covered in order to try to disguise movement of troops into and out of the front line. We've reached here a sign advising us that it's sensible to stay within the trench, certainly during daylight hours. We then approach what's known as Suicide Corner. Now, Suicide Corner, because it runs perpendicular to the enemies who are on the high ground opposite, for a short section of the trench we can be seen by enemy snipers who would be able to take pot shots at us, and so quickly we need to move across into the next section of the trench, which is the machine gun bay, and also known as Piccadilly Circus. Now, I'm breathing quite hard, having just crept through this section. We'll just have a look out through the machine gun position so that you can see there's quite a large field of view. And we then come back into the trench and make our way down. And again, trying to stay in a low position makes it very difficult, even just moving from one place to another. So here we've got first of our creature comforts. So we're actually lucky enough to have our own toilet facility. So back out into the trench again. We then approach Oxford Street, which is the first of the traverses that allowed support troops to pass over our trench as we advanced. So we make, oh, that'll be my head. So we make our way towards A Company headquarters. We once again meet Captain Vian.
And this is where I'm going to live. Actually, if you'd like to come inside and have a look. The officers would have lived in much better conditions. Of course, my Bible, my pen and ink, and sadly, one of my jobs is to write letters home to people who have died, who've been killed. So I'm going to be living a life of splendour here, even in the trenches. I wonder what the other folks will be living like. We'll see, and we'll show you that over the next couple of days as well.
So, our problem today is that our section of the trench has been under heavy fire, and a section of the trench has taken a direct hit from a shell which has caused quite extensive damage. What we really are in need of are some engineers, but our section of the trench doesn't have access to any engineers, and so what we're asking for is some advice on how we can put our trench back together again in order to try to maintain the relatively dry conditions that you can see underfoot. So if you've got any suggestions, please don't hesitate to get back to us and let us know.
You didn't